welcome back to Chicago Cars Direct. Whatever you're doing right now, stop. Take the next few minutes with us because we're going to spend some time with a really amazing car. This is a 2007 Porsche 911 GT3. As the rear engine is mounted in the GT3, you're going to find it back here. So it's a 3.8 liter flat six engine now. It's naturally aspirated. It is not a turbocharged engine. However, even in natural tune, it still makes 415 horse. The GT3 really is the race spec for this car. There's no automatic transmission available. It's only the 6-speed manual, so this car obviously has that. It's a rear-wheel drive. It's not one of the Carrera 4 models, but definitely one of the most capable and one of the most race-ready out of the factory cars. But still has a reliability of a 911. I have to say it's rare that I'm at a loss for words or feel so blessed to be able to drive a car, but I have not been behind the wheel of this yet. We'll take it for a spin. It's cold out in Chicago today, so we're only going to do a demonstration ride, but I have not driven a 997 GT3 yet, so very impressive and looking forward to it. In the front you still have the traditional 911 trunk, boot, bonnet, pick your name, whatever. But in here you do have your traditional storage area. I've got the full set of books here from Porsche, as well as the Porsche floor mats. But take a look in there. It's a good size. And under the floorboard you'll find the air compressor, as well as your gauge there, and the other assorted stuff, including your wheel lock. And then right here you're going to find the DVD drive for the navigation system and dash. Show you the condition of the car. There's nothing to note on it. There's not a blemish to show. The one thing that they did modify from the factory, you can see this is the 3M clear bra covering that goes across the entire front of the car. But all original. This is Atlas Gray. This is the color I would order my own in, by the way. This is my favorite color on this car. Look at that front air dam. It's very similar to how the turbo is. You don't have the LEDs here, but low front air dam. Now there's a couple of nicks and chips along here. And I would say that's a flaw, but the thing is that that's exactly what it's designed to do, is to protect the lower part of the nose there. And that can easily be replaced. That's not an issue. Over here you're going to find the GT3 wheel. This is GT3 spec. It is an 18-inch wheel. On the front here you're going to find a 235 ZR18. These are Pirelli P0 Corsa tires. Corsa meaning race. Those probably have better than 80% on the front, but the reflection down the driver's side is perfect. It does have the 3M here as well, which comes from the factory, but that is a cutout that is made to protect the widened rear end of this car because the hips are a little bit bigger. And the reason they are is because they have to accommodate these P0 Corsas on the rear, but these are 305/30 ZR18. Man, 305s, that's huge. But I guess this really is a race car. Coming around to the rear, you can see the GT3 spec wing, GT3 badging, twin outlet center exhaust, which is indicative. You do have a couple cooling ducts on the side here that are exclusive for the GT3. I think you probably get those on the GT2 as well, but still have yet to see one of those in person. And then on the rear here, obviously the wheel, red cross-drilled rotor, or red caliper, cross-drilled rotors all the way around. Really a road-going race car, but we'll show you. Inside here, you're going to see the got suede inserts along with leather on the surrounds. But I mean, that suede is so clean, you can see my fingertips just run right through it there. Pretty crazy. Beyond that, I mean, it really is a traditional 911. Great step-in. And the one way I like to really describe these cars is, you know, when you're behind the wheel of it, you don't really realize, you almost forget that you're behind the wheel of such an exotic supercar. But you know, this is definitely one of the fastest around the racetrack for any road-going car. And this interior doesn't disappoint you. Great Alcantara steering wheel, part of the GT3. You also get the gray face tachometer. It's part of the GT3. Got the control here for the xenons up front. You do have xenon headlamps. This is probably one of the most focused driving positions you can get, especially from a race car perspective. You can see the fenders in the front. Actually, the headlamp housings essentially act as the fenders. But talk about place in a car. You tend to dance with the 911 rather than drive it by principle, meaning with that rear engine you kind of have to drive the car as a pendulum. But once you get the art of the dance down, I mean, these cars are probably some of the most rewarding and I'd say challenging, but the thing is that it takes a certain degree to learn it. But the challenge is really the payoff when you learn to drive these cars, because they are amazing. But as I said, awesome layout in the gauges here. Really clear set. You do have a trip computer in here, which will also give you some navigation instructions. You got your tire pressure display, as well as any other pertinent functions. You do have cruise control. Again, this Alcantara wheel just feels amazing. Closing your eyes, you know you're in something spectacular. In the center here, this is PCM with navigation systems controlled all through the screen right here. And then on audio right here, you got a single CD player here. Below the nav, you got the automatic climate control. Hit automatic, set it and forget it. That's how I usually like to do it. Take a look above my head here at the suede headliner, or I should say Alcantara. Also the factory power moonroof. Got a 6-speed manual shifter here. You do have it in Alcantara to match the steering wheel, so it is a sport short shifter that you get from the factory. That is a standard part of the GT3 package. But I want to take particular note here. Porsche Active Suspension Management button here. This is a PASM. It really takes the car from riding like a sports car to a skateboard. That's really only something you're going to use on the racetrack, really. Sport here, this is going to actually open up the sport exhaust. You can actually hear the baffles open as we demonstrated. And then the throttle response changes entirely. The car feels way more hardwired and wants to launch a whole lot more. And then over here you got traction control. So when you're on the street, just rock it with traction control. You get to the track, you can illuminate all 3 of those and have fun to your heart's delight. Off-road cruise, I want you to understand how serene and sedate this car really is. I think everybody has the perception that the GT3 is just such a incredibly... listen. You don't need the Bose sound system, that's your Bose sound system. You know, this car is so incredibly user-friendly. I mean, the seating position, it's like when you're in this car you forget that you're in something that is probably quicker than 99% of cars that I would say come out of the factories. And just because of that, you know, this makes it a livable daily driver. And just for example, granted we got a little bit of snow in our grassy areas, but we've had some warm temperatures here, so our roads have cleared entirely. So it's a dry day here, but it's 31 degrees. That's the accurate Porsche temperature. And at 31 degrees, we haven't had any issues with traction at all. I've just kind of laid into it a couple times since we've come out here, just kind of testing the limits, and I can't get the thing to trip the traction. So that's pretty impressive, I think. Obviously got a rear weight bias, but this Alcantara wheel and the short shift, you know, they don't ever let you forget that you're reminded every time you touch them that. And also with this great tachometer, it says GT3 right in the middle. But listen to this thing. Nice easy short shift, nice easy clutch. It's a hydraulically modulated clutch, so it's not heavy at all. But I mean, right now it's probably less difficult to drive this car than a Honda Civic. The neat part is it's got the active suspension management, which when not engaged allows the car to have a really supple ride. If I put the sport on, you'll actually hear the character of the exhaust change here, and I'll turn it on now. You guys can't really hear it so much on the road, but active suspension management is on now, and now we are riding like a skateboard. You'll probably hear my voice quiver as we go over some of these bumps here, and we're not even on a very bumpy road. But this is also a great opportunity to showcase this car's chassis. It's so well built and so solid. Here we're coming up on a 10-mile-an-hour curve. This is a slow one, so we're not going to fly through it, but I'm just going to just casually walk right through it on a bumpy road, and it's like any other car. Alright, out in the GT3, and here's our world famous shot. That might be the most fun semi-shot I think I've ever done. You feel that suspension? That's awesome! Even Dave's smiling huge over there. Oh my God, those brakes are amazing! Wow, that was freaking awesome. I wish it was summertime. We could have gone out and had so much more fun with this. But again, you know, I don't want to run a car like this too hard. I mean, it's almost brand new. This is going to be somebody else's absolutely brand new, wonderful toy. And the GT3 is a driving experience you can't replicate with any other car, including the GT2 and including the turbo. It's the closest to being on a road course that you probably can be this side of a Lotus Elise. And even then, on a private road, really nothing else matches it. In my hand here, I got a copy of the Carfax and AutoCheck Vehicle History Report. One owner car, we did buy the car privately, so as you'd imagine, came from its original home in this condition right to us. And truth be told, we haven't even detailed this car yet. I mean, this is really how clean this car came to us. And then also I've got the original option sheet here. The car was put into service in June, so the car's 4-year, 50,000 mile factory warranty runs through June 11th, 2010. That's a good chunk of change. But option-wise, not a whole ton here. You got the Bizedons up front and then PCM with navigation in there. But all in all, 110, 160 would have been the MSRP on this car. But go to our website and see a whole lot more pictures of this car. Check us out at chicagocarsdirect.com where you'll see 83 pictures of this Porsche 911 GT3. And when you're done there, check out our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chicagocarsdirect. There we'll highlight a lot of our previous inventory and also some of the current amazing merchandise we have here at Chicago Cars Direct. But thanks for spending time with us today. Check with us on Facebook now, and check in with us here all the time. We'll see you soon.